We are married for... No, we are playing...
We are unmarried for...
We are unmarried for 11 years. And
we are married to the music for
almost
11 years.
11 years, yes. I'm the princess of Trabzon. I'm Sanem Kalfa. I'm a singer from north of Turkey, and I moved to Holland 11 years ago to study singing in Groningen Prince Claus Conservatory. Yeah, that's it. I also play with cello. And yeah.
I'm George Dumitriu. I play viola, violin and guitar. And I'm born in Romania, lived in Netherlands for the past, how many years? 12 years, I guess.
13 for you.
13, okay.
12. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, and we're both based in Amsterdam.
Yeah.
Working there for a while.
First we start to play standards, we arrange the standards, and then we start to compose. We try to make it sound very complicated stuff, and we play it over and over, and then we start to get sick of writing down stuff, and then everything became super simple, and we never write down anything. We know each other so well that everything, we don't even have to spend so much time for preparation for the songs.
The last compositions that we wrote are basically coming out of improvisations.
Yeah.
Not so much like really thought. It was kind of music developing on the way. So we kind of started from very small ideas and just really developing while playing, not so much really composing and thinking, how do we do here?
Yeah.
And we basically came to the studio with the material raw, like not really knowing what we're gonna do with it. Just like have simple ideas.
Yeah, when we actually, I remember before we go to the studio, I was thinking, what we gonna play actually. We have some songs, but how we are going to do it, we had no idea. But that's actually so exciting. In my first debut album, we have 6 songs in the album that we play together. So that's not our duo album, but now we have a new album, our first duo album actually, and
after 11 years.
After 11 years, actually. Yeah, I don't know why we never actually recorded.
We were just lazy,
I guess.
I think it's actually nice that it was not a process that was about recording so much, because the music developed in a different way, and I think that's kind of special. I mean, usually have like a plan. Okay, we're gonna make a record this year. We start. We watch this video on YouTube. You start in January. You make a plan. This many songs we're gonna write. We do this, and that, and then record and it's done. But it didn't start with this perspective at all. Actually, we just started really slowly composing and working on one song for a long time, and performing a lot. Then actually also this music from the new records, from our first record, is quite ripe. It's been also in the studio. We had 2 different studio recordings, and the first recording, that's where it kind of became. And afterwards, actually, we performed it quite a lot.
Yeah.
And also the music developed on stage as well. I think that's the most important, actually.
Yeah.
Because it just ripes twice faster. It seems like when it's in on stage and with people around.
Yeah, maybe that's why we also didn't think of recording, because like we played kind of the same material for a long time, the previous material, but it's never felt like we were playing this material for so long, because it was never actually the same somehow. Okay, the songs were like, the names were the same, but you know. And then when we thought like, wow, let's make something different, like let's not play these songs anymore. And we didn't also get sick of the songs somehow.
Well, no.
Well.
So I have come all this way, girl, for you. I have come all this way, girl, for you. Without you, sure, I want you to laugh, to kill all your worries, to love you, to kill all your worries, to nourish you.
It's not a reference also, the CD, by the way. It's not like, okay, the CD, we have music in the CD, but again, it's the same thing. Like every concert is not really same.
Yeah, like CD is just a side of it, I guess.
Yeah.
And I guess on a CD the music is a bit more compact, you know, like that's something that we had in mind more or less. I don't know how did we come to that idea, but everything is a bit more compact, and well, performing live, you know, we kind of take much more freedom and just keep the basic idea of what this or that song is, you know, the melody perhaps, and then, you know, the harmony can be everywhere, or whatever, the form changes while we play and surprises come and go.
For me, I've never been before in international environment, actually. So when I came to Groningen, I met with all this people from different countries. With Romania, somehow we have some, like for example, our kitchen is pretty close to each other. You know, there are some things that we are similar. Some things we are so different. Actually, when we start to play together, okay, it was first we start to play jazz, but then, you know, how about playing our own traditional music? Actually, we first started to play Turkish music. Turkish, not to say Turkish music, but Turkish songs we start to play. And then also we played in Romania, we played in Turkey. This also taught us a lot about, you know, to recognize each other's culture, people, you know. That also gives some idea and shapes our music, and to understand about the musical culture or in culture in general.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, this is one thing, the folklore, let's say, or our own backgrounds. But I think we had a strong, like a new influence, both of us. You know, by going to conservatory to study jazz music. You know, this was totally a new culture for us, and it was very nice because from there we learned, on one hand, a different language, you know, to speak. And on the other hand, improvisation, you know, like this was, I think this is a big part of our music right now. And yeah, I guess the whole thing is eclectic, you know, involving everything that we've had in our lives. We try to be as sincere and as honest about what we do, and I guess it comes out, you know, in the way we make music. And therefore, this album that we have comprises out of songs in Turkish and Portuguese, Brazilian songs.
Really.
We have a song from a good friend of ours, Mattia Magatelli, an Italian song.
Yeah.
and English, of course, some quotes from
Rumi.
the Sufi poet Rumi.
Yeah.
I guess that was more or less the theme of our album. I mean, it became later on the theme of the album. How many songs we have with Rumi's quotes?
3 songs.
3 songs.
3 songs. It's very short ones, but they explain a lot. They say a lot. It's actually that simple. So many things about life. And it's pretty much, the CD is about simple and direct. Yeah.
Every question leads to the CD. I guess
after this, we're gonna sound like Brechtje.
We're famous. Dance in your blood. Dance when you're perfectly free. Dance in your blood. Dance when you're perfectly free. Dance in your blood. Dance when you're perfectly free. Dance in your blood. Dance in your perfectly free. Dance in your blood. Dance when you're perfectly free.
Now I find actually a lot of inspiration from films, for example, and I found myself in directors such as Michelangelo Antonioni or Tarkovsky. I guess I'm into Tarkovsky lately. I watched most of his movies, and he has a very nice view upon his creation, which is also reflecting in music very much. Like he compares music because it's an abstract art in a way. You know, it's I guess musicians can describe it with concrete terms, but in a way it's just etheric. It's just in the air. You know, it's just vibration. It's hard to describe it. And he makes a parallel between music and his, the way he sees cinema. I think that's very beautiful. Also, I like very much Tarkovsky for the fact that, as well as Antonioni, they're both treating time in a different way, like the way events happen and everything, and time becomes a different component. It's just a different way of experiencing the film. You know, it's not like action, and a lot of events happening in this amount of time. It's like every time I watch a movie from them, I feel timeless. You know, I feel like it's not so much about a schedule, or like this kind of life that we experience right now. It's just beyond that. Yeah, I guess that's the way also I would like to make music more, like to have more an insight into exploring time, or like being outside of a certain frame, just like to be in that spot where everything sounds timeless, I guess.
Well, actually it's we experience like really a lot of things that because we see each other a lot we don't play only, but we are also as a friend, we talk a lot, we share a lot, at least I share a lot. Okay, then I'm first gonna say how we met, how we start to play together. That's actually a nice thing to remember. Okay. So when I came to Groningen, I was completely like, I'm in Europe. I'm in a country that nobody speaks my language, and there's so many people. And I I was going to my singing lessons, and then I was thinking, I go to singing lessons, but what am I gonna do? And then my teacher said, yeah, why just don't ask some people around to play with you. I was like, who? Just ask a guitar player or piano player. And then I knew George, this nice guy, very kind, smiles everyone, becomes friends with everyone, And I caught him in the library. He was practicing, and I thought, this is gonna be like, I didn't expect that's gonna be so easy, And I just asked him, could we play sometimes? But I had no idea what we're gonna play. Also, or if he would play with me, because I was the new guy in the school, and then I thought, if I have time, sometimes we can, and then. It was very simple. He said, yeah. I really didn't expect this answer. So that was all it started.
If only I have known what this would lead to.
Yeah, man. Maybe you wouldn't. We experienced so many things, like about life, and especially we recorded the CD twice. First one, we record everything, like amazing stuff, and we had to throw it to garbage. And that's actually, for me, it's not like, okay, we throw it, but it's actually such a big exam. It was a big test for us that we passed it, and we still, not only playing, but still we have really... like how our friendship stayed there, which could be very destroyed. I think it's more like yeah.
Dance when you're perfectly free. Dance, 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 dance,
Well, we have a song in the CD. It's in Turkish. When I was 4, I had ears like big sails. And one day, there is a girl came, and she wanted to kiss me on my ears. And that point, I said, "Oh, my translation is horrible." And
you can say it in Turkish and people can Google Translate.
yeah, dedim, en güzel kulak benim bu dünyada. Yeah, and I said, I am beautiful, and I have no problem with my ears. So
it was all about the ears.
that was all about. The song called Yelken means sails. So nothing to say about these beautiful ones. Mine are a bit.
I wanted to prepare this question.
George, please don't go philosophical. I'm gonna look stupid.
So I don't know what to say about ears. I mean, yeah, I guess anybody can. There's a lot of theory online about the ears.
About your ears.
No, about ears in general. So
Ears in
something about my
Nothing
ears.
special, I mean.
Yeah, I have like one hair here, which actually immediately grows back. Immediately.
Well,
But with this one I can hear actually, in a way I hear more highs. But in another way I have like a high sound, all the time, like a pitch, I don't know.
to warm your flower garden. Water to I have come all this way eager. For you I have come all this way eager. For you without shoes or shawl. I want you to laugh, to kill all your worries, to love you, to kill all your worries, to nourish you. I'm your woman, your moonlight too. I'm your flower garden, and your water. Thank you very much. Dance when you're broken up and dance if you've torn the bandage off. Dance in the middle of the fighting. Dance when you're broken up and dance if you've torn the bandage off. Dance in the middle of the fighting. Bandage off, dance in the middle of the fighting. Dance when you're broken open. Dance if you've torn the bandage off. Dance in the middle of the fighting. Dance in your blood. Dance when you're perfectly free. Dance in your blood. Dance when you're perfectly free. Dance in your blood. Dance when you're perfectly free.